SCP-068 Euclid Object Class Euclid Special Containment Procedures SCP-065 cannot be moved. It has been contained on site, and Site Redacted has been established around it. Site Redacted has been marked as a government research facility off limits to civilians and unauthorized individuals. Attempting to gain access to the area are to be detained, questioned, and administered by a Class A anesthetic, if deemed necessary by site security. An area 17 meters in radius around the center of SCP-068 has been designated the Red Zone. Personnel may not enter the Red Zone of SCP-065 at any time. Experimentation with SCP-065 may only be performed with prior approval with at least 2 Level 3 senior research staff. Personnel at high risk of cancer must not be assigned to Site Redacted, and all Site Redacted personnel must undergo mandatory monthly physical evaluations, including cancer screens. Description: SCP-065 is a spherical region of space, approximately 12 meters in radius, located on a farm near Redacted. SCP-065 was formed by the destruction of an anomalous artifact on site in the Global Occult Coalition on Redacted date. Immediately following this initial event, the radius of SCP-065 was estimated to initially expand to 108 meters in radius, resulting in the deaths of 11 GOC operatives and 5 civilians. Since contained by the facility, the effective radius of the SCP has shrunk to and remained stable at its current size. SCP-065 causes abnormal transfigurations of any living organism within its area of effect. These effects include, but are not limited to, regression of specialized cells to an undifferentiated stem state, spontaneous separation and fusion of undifferentiated cells, spontaneous necrosis of living tissue and reanimated of dead tissue, rapid genetic mutation of living tissue. These effects occur at a rate proportional to the mass and proximity of the organism. Plants and insects show few, if any, effects. Small animals will exhibit alterations following days of exposure. Large animals will show harmful mutations within hours, and all human test subjects exposed to the Red Zone have been fatally altered within approximately 15 minutes of exposure. To date, all attempts to directly observe the center of the SCP-065 have failed, as SCP-065 causes a form of extreme sensory confusion in all observers that extends to recording equipment. Affected personnel have reported highly distorted vision and hearing that persists for several hours to result in severe dizziness and nausea. Addendum 1. Research Note: Unredacted, a robotic rover designated to use somatosensory rather than visual and acoustic navigation managed to reach the center of SCP-065 and retrieve several objects. When pieced back together, these objects appeared to be shattered fragments of a stone figure of Kukupeli, a Native American fertility deity. Along with the pre-incident data obtained from the Global Occult Coalition, it appears that this artifact has been used by the civilian family to boost the yield of their farm and only come to the attention of the GOC when an investigation by the United States Department of Agriculture revealed the genetic makers in the supposed organic crops consist of these genetically modified organisms, GMO crops. The GOC attempted on-site destruction of this artifact and resulting in the creation of SCP-065. Following this incident, the GOC contacted the Foundation liaison and requested assistance in containing the resulting anomaly. Dr. Redacted. Addendum 2. Attached document. The following document was recovered from the formerly civilian-owned farmhouse at Site Redacted. John, I heard things aren't going well back home. I wish I could come back and help right now, but it's tough over here and right now, as well as we're on the verge of some important discoveries. I know it's not much, but I found this during the trip. The man who gave it to me described it as a representation of what which is and what might be. Planted by the cornfield, and hopefully this will make ends meet. See you soon. G.